Hi guys, Lee here from Trading College with your weekly HOTLIST market update. It is the 14th of December. Let's see what's setting up in the market this week. We're going to take a look at the weekly charts. We want to go and have a look at the weekly charts to start with because we want to participate in trades for all of the week. So let's dive into these markets. The British pound, of course, has gapped up. We're up about 90 points on the pound against the US dollar and all of the other sterling currency pairs. The pound yen up about 70 points, 69, 70 points here this morning. So let's take a little look at what's setting up. We're going to dive into sterling currency cross pairs in a second, but let's take a little look at gold. Because gold on the weekly chart, we've had a beautiful trend up in gold, of course, but now that trend predictor red arrow was really the key on the weekly, that this trend could really reverse. And then we've just dropped down with a red pro trend system, met profit target of 1777. And now we're sort of sitting inside these moving averages. Now, when price gets stuck inside moving averages, it can get really choppy. So we want this market to, explode higher or push down even further and get out of those moving averages. So I'm thinking we're going to go down. Now, if we start dropping below, which is last week's low, around 1,820, I think we're going to start dropping through that support area of 1777, and then we're going to get down to 1664. Okay, so ProTrend system has got its targets projected into the future here. The key for me on gold is the break below last week's low. All right, if we get below there and then we start picking off more support areas, we've officially made lower highs, and we could certainly see a move lower. We are red on the pro trading system. We are red on our momentum indicators. So we don't want to be looking for long trades. If we start to see gold rotate and break above these trend lines with green pro trading system, green momentum down below here, then all well and good. But a pullback is certainly due on gold down to this 16.64. All right, I've got to get my numbers for you spot on here, guys. Okay, so let's take a little look at the New Zealand CADs. Let's go and have a little look at these hot list markets that I'm looking at for this week. I think the New Zealand CAD, if we get a break above last week's high, 90.68, I think we're going to see a continuation up to minimum 91.64, then 92.19. We're already established in a momentum move on ProTrend system. We've got a trend predictor that works so well for last week. Trend predictor, basically when you get a red arrow, it means that the markets are pulled back for that week and they're looking to go back down. When you get a green arrow, it tells you the markets are pulled back that week, and then the next week we're looking for a move back up. Now, we got the move back up last week. We pushed back higher from 89.92 all the way back up to 90.62 last week. So I think we could get a continuation of this move. We are making higher highs and higher lows, and I think on the weekly chart we could see that break above the last week's high, which will then push us up to these highs. Now, these highs on New Zealand CAD 92.19 coincide with the end of 2019 highs, and we're back at those areas there. So that 92.19 and resistance on that weekly chart will probably stall a little bit around there. So I'm looking for trades higher. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to happen this Monday morning, so be patient with this one. And the reason is, if we go down to the daily chart, we've got a double trend predictor. Okay, so what this means, when you get a daily double trend predictor, it just means that we could just pop down for a couple of days and then make our move. All right, so we'll watch to see how this behaves today, but I'm looking longer term. I'm looking that we're going to start pushing even more to the upside on the New Zealand CAD. Now, the thing here on the Aussie New Zealand is a longer trade for me. I'm looking for the Aussie New Zealand, in fact, to really start to push high. And the key for me is not so much the weekly chart, even though we've got a double trend predictor here. So it's saying that this week could be a down week. Now, if we push a little bit lower here, that's fine, because I think we're not always looking for 5-minute entries. Some of you guys that want to go for those bigger moves, I think setting up those trades on the weekly is perfect, but also jumping up to the monthly time frame as well, because the monthly time frame can really give us something that the smaller time frames don't. And if we get trapped inside those smaller time frames, we just don't see the bigger picture. So I'm just looking at this Aussie New Zealand. It used to be one of my favourite currency pairs to trade when we had a lot of these moves down here. And then we just we went sideways for a number of years here. And I think we could see a decent sized move. Now I want to do some Fibonacci work with you, and let's just have a little look at the fib retracement from there to there. Now we did virtually hit the 61.8%. So that means on the monthly, there is every chance we could, if we break above that monthly high, we could extend even further. And as I said, the Aussie New Zealand has been in this contraction sideways market for a long time. I think we could break out and go higher. Now, as I said, we've got a double trend predictor for the week, so that's putting pressure on the price. So that means it's going to try and bring it down. But then once that happens, I'm looking for more upside. So your trigger to get long on this trade could well be this pullback into support here, as we get the low OBS getting oversold as well. So we've had a decent move up, we do a little retracement, and then the push through. Okay, so we've also got that channel coming down here, which could quite easily, let me draw that again for you. We've got the channel coming down here. All right, so we could get back to that channel, use it as support, and then start pushing higher from here. So let's see if we get that pullback for a few days, and then we start breaking above the high. We've already got a pro-trend system green buy signal with a stop here and targets, and we've met certain objectives up to the upside. So this little pullback to push higher could then set this off very nicely indeed. You guys that are even shorter term, let's have a look at the 4-hour time frame. So 4-hour guys and girls in the chat room today were looking at this trend predictor down, and they certainly got rewarded on that down move. So this is down from the high here, so they were looking for the 4 hours to come down. Remember, a red trend predictor means the next candlestick is down. So the move down here is going to give us that movement we're going to look for on the daily, and then we're going to start to see this push higher. Maybe, we shall see. But it's all there. That's a longer term trade for me. I'm watching that over the coming days and obviously over the coming weeks here. Now, if you have a little look at Aussie CAD, I still like this as well. I think, looking at the weekly, momentum's firing off. We've got no two-wave divergences, green pro-trend systems. We turn a little bit white today, which is normal for a Monday. The white just tells you that we're in a choppy sideways market. But I think maybe even more upside here, we could start to push high. If you look at the monthly time frame, we've got a nice established pro-trend system buyer. We hit target at 96.93. Momentum still rising. So, we could certainly get up into, these targets up here, 103.23, which is a massive target, much higher. So that is a very long-term hold. So we shall see what happens in here. But I'm liking long side trades in Aussie CAD. Where else? Really, a lot of the markets have been gapping higher today on the pound. The weekly time frame on the pound Japanese yen. And I'm reluctant to go long the yen pairs at the moment because the yen tends to strengthen if the stock markets start to weaken. And what I'm watching is the pound Japanese yen. Obviously, we've got Brexit on the brink of a decision, or have we? Maybe another delay till the 31st of December. Looks like that. But the pound Japanese yen on the weekly chart is getting ready for an explosive move. And let me tell you why. We've got this symmetrical triangle going on here. And the apex isn't far away, just a week or so away. And we're stuck. We're a little bit stuck here. The markets are not really, pound yen has sort of been sideways for about 4 weeks. And with that contraction of that symmetrical triangle, we could certainly get an explosive move. Which way it goes is not my concern. All I've got to do is just trade the signal. Now, we need a red, or we need another break above the high and out of this triangle with this pro trading system. The pro trading system is the green and red candlesticks here, guys. All right, so I'm watching for the break above the high of last week to really explode higher, and that would be interesting if that happens. But you know, the break below, and it all goes pear-shaped with Brexit or whatever the decision. I don't think anyone really knows where it goes. And in my opinion, I'm telling my students to just trade what you see on the chart, because the chart is king. You know, the price is the main thing. You don't really want to be second guessing where the market's going in, especially if you get on the wrong side of a big momentum move with sterling. You know, that could last for a very long time. So just be careful, be flexible, trade what you see, not what you think. And what you see is on the charts, because that's a reflection of people's decisions. Okay, so if you look at the trend predictor pound yen today, it's got a red, so that tells you that we should start to see some downside by the end of the day. All right, and you know, if we start to break below 138.20, we hit 136.91, we get below that area and we start dropping to 134, then that weekly symmetrical triangle, you know, is going to break, okay, and we're going to start to see it push down to possibly new lows. I think the yen pairs and the sterling market is going to be, you know, we're going to have some serious moves coming up soon. Whether it's before Christmas, I do not know, but we're just going to trade the signals, okay? We're not going to try and trade our feelings and thoughts about what's going on. All right, so that's the hot list for today. Pound US dollar still very weakly strong, with, you know, momentum pushing higher down below. PTS is nice and green. So just looking for more upside as we go with the flow of this market this week, unless something else changes. The monthly on cable is very white. But momentum is shifting and we're still long. It's still bullish here. The only thing that's going to stop us to staying long is if we start to make a lower high. Today we get a new green PTS buy on this Monday. But we start to, if this doesn't confirm tonight, because it's a real-time trading system, if we get this buy signal confirmed tonight, then we're going to look for long side trades. Up to 135.28 and then 137.40. If it doesn't confirm tonight and we stay red, then a break below today's low, I think, could spark off a bigger move to the downside. All right, so I'm waiting on that. It's whether you've got the appetite to want to hold through these Brexit negotiations is entirely up to your risk parameters. But I'm liking longer term Aussie New Zealand, New Zealand CAD, sitting on the sidelines of pound Japanese yen, pound US dollar, still bullish as we go. Gold rolling over, possible break below the lows. And then looking at Ripple, a really nice move up in the cryptos, or I should say just Ripple here. If we take a little look at the monthly chart, we had a trend predictor and then we got the PTS buy. Now we're just pulling back here. This is the down candlestick, of course, because it's dark green on the monthly. Weekly, got a trend predictor on the weekly. Oh, that's really nice. So that's saying if we close green trend predictor this week, Friday, then next week we get another move higher. So we're watching for a break above the high of next week for that confirmation. And on the daily, it's just selling off really nicely here, setting up for a new long trade. All right, so as we come down, we get that weekly trend predictor firing off, and then we turn back to green on the daily, and then we see a move higher. So when it's coming down, this is the time to get interested. It feels uncomfortable as it's falling that you're looking to buy it, but you just want to wait for that trigger to get long, guys, and just take the trade. All right, so please make sure you do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Manage your risk at all times. Subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be doing this every single Monday morning. We're going to look at the hot list, what's setting up for the week. Share it with your friends, and make sure that you subscribe, as I said. All right, guys. Okay, speak to you soon. Have a great rest of the week. Take care.